Venom 3. Anybody seen it?
Nope.
I heard
Venom
it wasn't
3.
horrible.
Yeah, Venom 3 has its lowest opening weekend. Or Venom 3 is the lowest opening weekend for the entire trilogy.
Yeah.
I do not like these movies at all. I don't like the Venom movies. I love Tom Hardy. I think he's a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors in all reality. I hate these Venom movies. I think they're trash. I don't know why. And they do so well. Historically, they've done very well, especially at the first one. I have no desire to see this movie at all.
So it does well because women want to see Tom Hardy and they can take their husbands to get the comic book fix.
Yeah.
That's literally it. It's like an acceptable experience for a male, but the women want to watch for him.
Yeah.
Which I don't get it.
I hate these movies. Okay, hate's the wrong word, but they're so irrelevant to me. I just do not see why I don't see why they do so well. But with that said, they're not offensively bad or anything like that. You know what I mean? So
they're just weird, like somewhat acceptable, like popcorn films that like we would have let slide. You're like, oh yeah, maybe like I could see why people like that movie, but like and maybe over time people will like them more and more. Like the farther away we get away from them, maybe there'll be like some nostalgia tied to them because they're so fucking weird and like. But I didn't like the second one at all. I didn't have a good time with it. I enjoyed the first one for what it was.
Yeah,
but it's like it wasn't a good movie. It was like, okay.
I found the first one to be painfully boring, and then the second one was just more of the same, essentially. And now this one, I just do not care, and it doesn't feel like a lot of people care. And I don't know what the budget was, and I don't know if it talks about it here. But you know, it fell. So it says it's number one at the box office, but it fell significantly short of expectations. The third and final entry in Sony Marvel's anti-hero series led by Tom Hardy opened to a muted 51 million in 4,100 North American theaters. Rival Studios estimate the final weekend number will be under 50 million. Those ticket sales are far behind projections of 65 million and much lower than the prior two installments. 2018's Venom, which opened to an 80 million, and then 2021's Venom Let There Be Carnage, which opened to a then pandemic record 90 million. Sony believes the World Series matchup between the Yankees and the Dodgers kept people at home. That is bullshit. That is not why. That is not what's keeping this movie. There's no interest for this movie. That's really what it comes down to. Despite the slow liftoff in North America, the third Venom is getting a boost from international audiences. The Spider-Man spinoff has feasted on 124 million overseas for a global start of 175 million. I just don't think. Let's see. So right here, the last dance cost 120 million to produce, not including worldwide marketing efforts. That's far less than most superhero movies like Deadpool and Wolverine and The Joker 2, which each cost up to $200 million. Yet, since theater owners get to keep roughly half of the ticket sales, the third Venom needs to stick around on the big screen beyond its debut just to justify that price tag. After a much bigger launches, the first Venom powered to 865 million worldwide, while Let There Be Carnage surpassed 500 million worldwide. I do not think this movie is going to hit $300 million. I just don't. I don't see it. Well, hang on. If it did, how much did it say it did? So a global start of 175. It may do 3. It probably won't hit 4. It won't hit 4.
I don't think it's going to hit 4 either. I do agree. I think they're going to make their barely break even, and it's going to be just like a cool. All right, that's the end of that. Yeah. I think they about milked everything they could out of this franchise.
I just don't know why. I don't know why anybody goes to sees these movies. I really don't. Yeah. But here's what's interesting. So the first movie opened up at 80 million. Did 850 million. The second movie opened up at 90 and barely crossed 500 million. That's a massive drop off. So we're going to see another drop off on this one as well. And now I know that the narrative is like, oh, is this because superhero movies are dead? Yada, yada, yada. So no, it doesn't mean that. It means like Deadpool and Wolverine just proved that theory wrong completely. There's just people want to see good superhero movies. It's that simple. And when they're not good, they're not. People aren't going to continue to support them. So it's that simple, right there. So
yeah, and the trailer for this like alone just looks like Tom Hardy looks less and less interested every movie. Like, so even in the trailers, you kind of just look like he doesn't want to be there, and he's looked like he hasn't wanted to be there since he started. So it just kind of feels like everybody's like, yeah, we made another one of these. I don't fucking know, go see it or something, and everybody's like, oh, that's your attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only going to carry so far. So.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
I saw that
Venom
meme, that
3,
was pretty
Venom 3 is a pretty much going to be a failure. How big of a failure? Time will tell, but we're not sure.
No, I'm not sure. But I'm not gonna go fucking see it, so they won't be getting my money.